Hello, everyone, and welcome to Maggie's Possum Journey. Today, let me start exactly from where I took off the last time. So, we stopped at Maggie's morning walk at Thekere, and once both of them got back from morning walk, we decided to pack our bags and have our breakfast and head off to our next destination of our road trip. Well, our next destination was a very exciting place because we had seen about it so many times on television and media and everywhere. But meanwhile, when we started our journey, I was excessively thrilled to see that there were tea gardens and estates even here. Well, this route was an absolutely unexpected one because I had no idea that even here we would have the luscious green tea estates. Well, do you remember that when we were at Munnar, Maggie was so tired that she absolutely did not want to come out of the house to see the tea estates and the sightseeing? Well, to be very honest, within my hearts of heart, I was very disappointed, actually very sad, that Maggie couldn't see these beautiful tea estates. And so I was thrilled and I told my husband that we must take Maggie out of the car, stop at a halt, and show her this luscious green beauty. Now, you would say, what would Maggie know of luscious green tea estates, beauty? But well, just look at this creature, so curious. And the minute I got her out and I told her, Maggie, look at this, it's so different, it's so beautiful. You know, there was a different look of curiosity that, couldn't take her eyes off these green tea estates. And I was absolutely true. Maggie was so excited to see the sight of it, and you can see her tail wagging and the way she is observing the tea estates. I was so happy that finally Maggie actually missed out nothing on this road trip. That was that one place that I was sad that Maggie was in the house and I wanted her to come out and have the sightseeing. But now I am completely content that Maggie could see what we had seen 2 days back. Well, Maggie did not want to get back to the car, so my husband gave Maggie a little walk right ahead and she looked here and there at the beautiful greenery and had a wonderful, satisfying walk. Finally, when she was satisfied, she came herself by the car and asked my husband to put her up into the car. This is how Maggie is. Whenever she wants to explore something, she does it to her heart's content. Well, now it's time to tell you all what is our next destination. So our next destination is actually the backwaters of Elipi. The distance between Thekere to Elipi is 155 kilometers. It was almost a 4-hour drive for us to reach Elipi and could not wait to marvel the beauty of the backwaters. We have seen and heard so much about backwaters, and whenever we think of Kerala, the backwaters is the first image that comes to our mind. This time it was going to be extra special and double thrilling for us because when we reached Elipi after 4 hours, and we had booked a pet friendly resort which was right in the middle of the backwaters. We thought it would be like any other resort, but no, there was more thrill to it. A small little boat came to pick us up and put all our luggage, and we gradually got up on that little boat, and that boat actually took us to the resort that we were destined for. First, we put our luggage on the boat. Each one of us got into it, and I have a little confession to make. I was really terrified for some reason. The water was making me scared, and I thought, my God, I hope I do not unbalance or misbalance the boat. I sat right into the center and I had to capture Maggie's activities and everything. So I got a right position for it. Meanwhile, my parents, Maggie, my husband, can you see Maggie right there? She just didn't know what was happening, but because she loves water so much, she was smiling all throughout. As for us, we were like a picture or almost what we saw in televisions and documentaries all these days, came right live to us. It was so beautiful, so breathtaking. We couldn't keep ourselves from looking here and there. These little boats, the coconut tree, this canal like water, everything was like as if from a movie. We couldn't wait to see the resort that we were going to be into, and gradually, here was the site of the resort that we were going to be. The best part was, it seemed like the most authentic bit of Kerala and its culture portrayed into one belt. I couldn't believe I was going to spend the night in this place and just wanted to just look into the place and how it was. But you all can see from outside, it looks like the typical Kerala houses, the builds, isn't it? We all must have seen these kind of structures in movies or documentaries whenever Kerala LP comes into our picture. Maggie is a smart girl and she doesn't need any push. The minute the boat stopped, she jumped out quickly. Again, I was scared to come out and successfully did. So we took out all our luggage, put it in our rooms. We had to take a bath, because compared to Thekere, LP was a very hot place. It was very humid and hot. And suddenly the change of temperature made us realize that if we don't take a bath, we will not be able to actually enjoy the rest of the day. All of us took a bath, and Maggie has these dry shampoos which are very, very good for the travels. So you just spray it on her and then wipe it off, and she's all clean, almost like a bath. I told her which color dress would you like to wear, and she picked up this red t-shirt of hers. Papa got ready, I was ready. We were waiting for our parents to come, and let me tell you what is going to be our ride for the day. So LP is mainly there as an attraction for the backwaters, and this was our Shikara. Well, don't think Shikaras are there just in Kashmir, as we all know, which is very popular. Shikaras were there at LP also. Well, we were told that houseboats are the heart of LP and the main attraction there. So we did a lot of research about houseboats, and we realized that if we had to bring in Maggie with us, we had to take in the entire houseboat, and we had to be completely inside the houseboat even at night. Well, my husband and I discussed before booking, and we realized we wanted something a little more open. And so we went for a Shikara which was also pet friendly. Once we saw the Shikara and we got into it, we realized that we made a very good decision. It was my first time for my parents as well, and they loved it. They were very comfortable, as you can see. Of course, they changed places here and there. There were 2 long sofas where you could also lie down and be comfortable. Maggie madam was all thrilled, and we didn't have to push her at all to sit where she did. But just look at the beauty around. Did you know LP is also known as the Venice of the East? And when we reached there, we knew exactly why this name was given. LP is a district of immense natural beauty and had a network of canals and emerald green waterways. It was embraced by the Arabian Sea in the west and also had a host of lakes and freshwater river crossing it. We were in a therapeutic mood, I must tell you. And who was giving us this therapy? Nature herself. We didn't have to go anywhere. We just laid down and we were just being relaxed, just looking at the sky, the sounds of the water. But Maggie, what is she doing right now? Well, Maggie cannot sit silently at one place. So once she sat at the deck, she saw the beauty. Suddenly, she must have realized that we are having more fun inside. So she suddenly wanted to come in, and she asked everybody to help her to come inside. Although we showed her different things here and there, once Maggie gets distracted, she has to do what she wants. So no amount of sightseeing would have sufficed her requirements at that point of time. So we just had to tell her where she could get out of it. She is very intelligent, and once she sees where and how the things can be solved, she does it, and even this time successfully came out of the deck and right onto the sofa area successfully. Now Maggie is at peace. But let me tell you, she would not settle here as well after some time, once she takes the fun of the sofa as well. For now, Maggie sat with me and she happily looked around here and there. There were many dogs that were there across on the shores, or what can I say, the dry land that we crossed. She barked onto each one of them, greeted them. They barked back at her, and probably they greeted each other, saying, "Hello, welcome to my area," and so on. Well, we fed Maggie very well because we knew that she's not going to drink or eat anything while we were on this place on Shikara. Elepe, although, is very famous for the houseboats. These houseboats were massive, but they were not as open as this Shikara was. We did not regret a bit not going to the very famous and the most popular houseboats that were there. On the contrary, we had such clear vision. There were also these motorboats that were there, and do you know the fun of it? Every time a motorboat crossed us, owing to the speed of the motorboats, we started swinging from here and there. The first time it was almost like an earthquake. We got scared. But after that, we kept waiting for motorboat to cross us, so that by the speed and the motion that it creates in the water, we would also get a swing of the backwaters. Well, what can I say? I was thinking of all the songs that I knew, the villages, Kerala, all the photographs that I had seen, everything that I had researched on. It was just a dream come true. It was great that we actually made the decision to go to Elepe because it was once in a lifetime beauty. Well, there are many canals there, and this was one place that was full of the moss and remorse that was there. Although out of this emerald water it was completely green, but this green fungused plants also made it look very beautiful. My husband was happy and sitting with Maggie. As I told you, she had to change her position. So this time she gave everybody attention but my husband. So she decided she's going to hop right onto his lap. And they both took each other into each other's company just the way they do back home. Well, the person who was there at the Shikara told us that we could stop, have some tea, and there were also provisions of snacks or the fish that they could catch freshly from the water and fry it for us. Well, we were in no mood of eating, as I told you that the weather was a little humid and warm. So we told them that we would settle in for some tea. I didn't want that either. I was a little thirsty, so I kept drinking water. Look at Maggie here. She could see little fish because the speed was not too high. So every time she could spot them, she was so excited and she would run right into it. Here, there were some people who were waving at Maggie and she went back waving back at them. Now, after she had been with all of us, she wanted to be with the man who owned the Shikara, who was right back there, and said hello. But then when he did not respond much to her, she said, "Okay, let me get back to my family. That would be the best way." Well, our plans for Elepe was not much. It was almost just to have a 4 hour of this Shikara ride. And we listened to music. After a point of time, we realized that we were not even talking to each other because we were just staring at nature and what it had to offer. In this process, we were almost mesmerized. And finally, the mighty houseboats caught our sight. Can you look at it? This one, it seemed, had a 3 BHK and also a restaurant, a deck. So a full furnished facility, I must say. It was massive and huge and a beauty to look at. Each of these houseboats were just amazing. There were many tourists who were actually inside and enjoying the sight of it. But we had a good time looking at it from outside. We could hear the rings of the churches. We could see many schools that were there on the shores. And then the person who was there at Shikara told us that when few years back Kerala was flood infested, this area was very badly harmed, and the people here, the houses here, they had a very big trouble getting out of this crisis. But of what we could see, they recovered very well, their businesses were back, and we wish them all the best. Well, for today, as we had captured this immense beauty and locked it in our memories forever, I would keep you all with this memory for this episode and will take you through our Kerala visit more in the next episode of Maggie's life. The sun has set, and I hope you loved this episode. So don't forget to subscribe. Till then, hugs from Maggie. Bye bye.